incomplete, apparently, or is that going to be a fumble?
No, they're calling it back.
Whistled it. Picked up by Mark Cotney from Cameron State, and what a hit by Danny Reese, number 46.
We've talked about Swan's ribs. You're going to see him here take a shot right to those ribs. He's wearing a flak jacket, so it's not going to be quite as painful, but boy, I'll tell you, that's hard when they put that shoulder right to you and you're trying to tuck that ball away. The ball not under control.
Reese, who was a former teammate of Swan when they played at USC for Johnny McKay.
On the line of scrimmage, John Kolb working on Selman, number 63, and of course he's getting help from number 74, Penny. Normally, teams putting 2 or 3 people on him. We're going to see more and more of him during the day, I'm sure.
Colquitt, a good kick, aims it to the sidelines, and it kicks out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Chuck Noll couldn't ask for much better than that. So Tampa Bay will have its first offensive possession when we return. They'll start from their own 8-yard line. A vocal crowd ready to let loose here in Tampa Bay. They've waited a long time to see these Buccaneers against the world champion Steelers. Doug Williams with Ricky Bell, Jerry Eckwood, both good pass receivers, wide receivers, and the offensive line will give you after this play. Williams in his 3rd year from Grambling. Play action on the first play from his own goal line. He hits Gordon Jones, and Jones is hit at the 16-yard line. Jones, who attended and was an All-American at the University of Pittsburgh. Offensively now, the rest of the Pittsburgh team, the Buccaneers, Gordon Jones and Isaac Higgins are the outside men with a fine tight end, Jimmy Giles. Dave Revis, a former Steeler, one of 2 left from the allocation draft here in Tampa Bay. George Arnold, younger brother of the center of the Seattle Seahawks, Steve Wilson. Ray Snell, a rookie from Wisconsin. Charlie Hanna, his brother, the All-Pro. Top offensive blocker, New England Patriots. 2nd down, 2. The give is to Bell, and he slams forward, close to a first down. Tom Beasley from Virginia Tech, playing for the injured John Banaszak at right end, made the tackle. Defensively for the Steelers, L.C. Greenwood, Joe Green, a lot written about them this day. Are they too old to bring about a good pass rush for the Steelers? Steve Furness and Tom Beasley for the other injured defensive ends. Ham, Winston for Lambert in the middle, Robin Cole, the linebackers. Familiar names in the back 4 for the Steelers, Johnson and Blunt at the corners. Donnie Shell, their leading interceptor, with 6, and Mike Wagner, who has 5 thefts on the back line. The measurement for first down.
Dick, the Steelers have certainly been hurt, as you see the first down registered there. The Steelers have been hurt tremendously by first down passing. And right off the bat, here comes Tampa with a first down pass, which they completed. One of the problems they've had is that they traditionally have played run on first down situations. That means your pass rush is slow, and if you give a quarterback time, especially under the new rules, he's going to get a receiver open.
You see 86 Jim Obradovich come in to join Jimmy Giles, 2 tight ends. Jones comes out. Bell is the leading rusher for Tampa Bay, 435 yards, but Jerry Eckwood has complimented him with 385. They're stacked up in the eye. Fake to Eckwood. Williams a lot of time, and wide open is Eckwood. Fumble! And who's got it? Mike Wagner of the Steelers at the 39-yard line. And the Steeler fans, some 4,000 or 5,000, they stand and cheer.
Again, the first down passing, and you see the problem that the Steeler defense has had all year. They are not able to get to the quarterback. Williams with plenty of time to throw the football, and he does something interesting here. Throws it, nice, soft little pass there. Not the zippers that he's been throwing earlier in the year, but the ball right there bounces free of the receiver. It's open. Wagner just outdueled Jimmy Giles, number 88, for that football. Pays a little price himself.
At the 38 of Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh with the first break of the game. No score. We played 4 minutes. Rocky Blyer slams to the 33-yard line. David Lewis, who credits Mike Garrett, the former Heisman Award winner at USC, as his inspiration, made the tackle. Rocky Blyer. Well, his story of his life made into a movie for television will be seen on ABC in December. And for such an outstanding individual, that's a picture that I'm going to want to see.
And Rocky was teasing him. He said, I don't want to start. He said, I want to go in later and be a hero.
Robert Ulrich will play the part of Blyer. 2nd and 5. That's Thornton. to the 31. Nothing there, thanks to the play of 63 Leroy Selman. David Logan, 76, and 54 Richard Wood also in on the play with Cecil Johnson.
On that play, Selman jumped to the inside, took a slant. You'll get a chance to see it at home. Watch him now. He's going to jump inside of John Kolb, come inside. He actually misses the tackle right there, although he does force him out into the waiting arms of Cecil Johnson, number 56.
It'll be third and about 2.5. Key play for the Steelers at the 31 of Tampa Bay. Two tight ends, Grossman and Cunningham, bookend. A fake to Blyer. Bradshaw going for 6. Incomplete. And no flag as the play was made by Cedric Brown. Brown with perfect timing to knock it away from Thornton.
Rocky Blyer splitting the zone. Tampa predominantly a team that runs zone defenses. Bradshaw trying to get him deep down the center. Time to throw the football, but watch the recovery of the Tampa defensive backs. Right there, coming over the top. Cedric Brown, a beautiful job of timing his leap to hit the ball before he made contact with the receiver.
If Barr kicks it, it's his longest of the year, 49 yards. Previous longest, 35. Colquitt to hold. On its way, and good! So Barr beats his previous high for the year by 14 yards. A 49-yard field goal, and the Steelers take the early lead. Timeout, 9:28 left first quarter. Steelers 3, Bucks nothing. The fumble recovery by Wagner leads to a 3-0 lead for the Steelers as Barr has kicked his longest ever pro field goal, officially 48 yards. The kick by Pittsburgh, aimed toward Gary Davis. He's at the 5, 10, the 20, and down at the 22, 23-yard line. Davis from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, the former Miami Dolphin.
One of the problems the Steelers have had with Barr is the length of his kickoffs. That ball dropping on the 5-yard line, but excellent coverage by the Steelers as they got down and were able to hold the Tampa Bay Bucks on their own 23-yard line. That's a lot of green between you and the goal line when you start down there.
Yeah, they started the first time from their 8-yard line. Doug Williams, a lot of field ahead. Bell and Eckwood. And then gives to Eckwood. Nothing there. Joe Green and Tom Beasley with greeting party for Eckwood. And he loses yardage.
One of the most vocal Steelers during this time of trouble, number 75, Joe Green. He really is the longtime leader of that defense. Just quickly inside of massacred that ball carrier. Gets a lot of help from Beasley, number 65, but Green had him all the way.
With the injuries to the guards, especially Greg Roberts, who was hurt last week, with Yarno and Snell, two rookies, or actually Yarno in his second year, playing at that position, Pittsburgh's going to throw a lot of defensive stunts at Tampa Bay today. It looks as if they might have had a little one on there. Williams. There's no flag. Down at the 45-yard line, the fans didn't like that. They felt that 89 Kevin House, a speed burner, was bumped by Ron Johnson.
I'd reached in my pocket up here in the stands. No, it looked like there was a little bumping going on. Williams, one of the things that Williams has done in the past when a call like that was not made, he's gone down to argue with the officials. He's being pretty cool about it. I'm sure that Coach McKay and Bill Nelson, the quarterback coach, are trying to get him to show some maturity. One of the things he has to do, certainly has all the tools that a great quarterback needs. Mobility, can run the football, a powerful rifleman arm, just needs a little finesse and a little bit of experience.
Sounds like the same thing they said about Terry Bradshaw about 8 years ago. That's Hagan's in motion on 3rd and 12. Overshoots and very nearly intercepted by Dwayne Woodruff. He was the closest player to that ball, intended for tight end Jimmy Giles. And Tampa Bay is going to have to give the ball up on the punt as Tom Blanchard, number 2 in the National Conference, comes in to kick it. Former quarterback at Oregon. The Ducks out there on the West Coast celebrating a big win against UCLA yesterday. And here in Florida, they're talking about Florida's near upset of Georgia. The Bulldogs, the only unbeaten, untied major college team after yesterday's play. Need to return Theo Bell at the 40. Blocked by by Sweeney. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 53, Dennis Winston gets the touchdown.
That's the first block of the year of a Blanchard punt, but he'd had 11 block lifetime coming in, so he's the guy who kicks slow enough. 85, Sweeney, the man who's there to knock it down. 29, Johnson, and finally, as you said, Dick, number 53, Dirt Winston there to cover it. Another good shot from the end zone. Sweeney there, and plenty of time. In fact, he almost overran that kick, but timed it perfectly to meet the ball at the right point, knock it down, knock it away from the punter.
Bars try for point down the middle, and the Steelers use the defense to get 7 points. There's a flag on the play. Let's see if it's against Tampa Bay.
We have 12 men on defense. The kick is good. Penalized on the kickoff.
So 5 yards against Tampa Bay on the kickoff, as announced by Fred Wyant, the referee. The Steelers, special teams, block a punt. It's worth 7, and Pittsburgh leads 10-0. So Pittsburgh, the defending Super Bowl champions, recover a fumble in Tampa Bay territory and turn it into a 48-yard field goal. And now a block punt recovered by Dirt Winston, and they lead 10-0 as Barr kicks it off. You see it coming right at you from Gary Davis's point of view. And it's Davis at the 8-yard line. And toppled at the 30. Good low tackle by Calvin Sweeney. And Sweeney, number 85, made a couple of big plays. The biggest, of course, that block punt. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. The last time the Steelers blocked a punt 8 seasons ago. Williams hands it off to Bell. And Ricky Bell out to the 27-yard line. A gain of 3. L.C. Greenwood made the tackle. Ricky Bell. His brother Archie, a musician. Archie Bell and the Drills. Some of you folks enjoyed listening to their music.
Dick, you talked earlier about the fact that there are a couple of youngsters in there at offensive guard. They're also moving around a little bit in there. Snell had started a couple of times over on the left side, now moved to the right side. Yarno moving in on the left side at that starting guard position.
Mike Schumann, just acquired from the 49ers on waivers. Number 82 is in at wide receiver left. 2nd and 7 play. Williams scrambling and had to throw it away. L.C. Greenwood right on his backside to bring him down, and Williams alertly found an open spot to dump the ball. There's Schumann, 82, from Florida State. Early report, and the Bears, bouncing back from the Monday night loss to Cleveland, have a 2-touchdown lead against the Redskins.
L.C. Greenwood, and who was responsible for the pressure that forced that bad throw from quarterback. L.C. last week kind of went on his own. He said, hey, we can't get any pressure through this regular system that we're using. I think L.C. better get on his horse and get on the quarterback. He did that. He started it here again today.
3rd and 7. You saw John McKay calls the plays himself. Has a man, incomplete. Schumann out at the 50-yard line. It appeared the receiver was ad-libbing his way. He saw double coverage in front of him, slowed up, and hoped that Williams might throw back to the near sideline.
And you see Williams complaining to Boyd Dowler, the receiver coach, that the receiver is running his own pattern. Indeed, not going where he's supposed to go. Supposed to come back out of there. Very possibly, had he run the pattern called for, that might have been a completion rather than an overthrow.
Blanchard, who must feel a little edgy now, back to punt. Theo Bell at the 31 for Pittsburgh. Short kick. You bet that has an effect. Bell at the 33, the 40, and all the way to the 47. So the Steelers again with excellent field position. Tackle made by Scott Brantley, number 52. Chuck Noll Steelers had a 3-game losing streak. They won last week against Green Bay. They lead Tampa Bay at the midpoint of the first quarter today. 7 minutes and 8 seconds remain in the first quarter here at Tampa Stadium, and the Bucks are down to the world champion Steelers 10-0. There's the scoreboard on the American Conference versus the National. Just as was the case last year, the teams in the AFC have been a dominant force.
And about the same ratio, 36 victories by the AFC last year against 16 by the NFC.
And the AFC Steelers lead the NFC Bucks today 10-0. Bradshaw from his own 47. Fake to Blyer. Throw to the tight end Cunningham, and he is surrounded and dropped for a loss at the 43. David Lewis 57 and Leroy Selman from the other side 63, and Cunningham not getting up.
This play seemed doomed right from the start. Little play action screen. Cunningham holding his ribs there. Let's watch number 61, Tyrone McGriff. Last players taken in the draft. He's supposed to go to the outside now. Cut down Reggie Lewis, 57. He sees Lewis a second time. Come on, go after him, Tyrone. Wait a minute. I'm going to go after number 57. Sometimes nothing worked.
Tyrone, who's done a great job as the last player picked in the draft from Florida A&M. As Chuck Noll might identify with the last player drafted, he was a 21st round pick out of Dayton by the Cleveland Browns and was also a guard. Cunningham injured. That has been the story of Benny Cunningham. Great prospect out of Clemson, #1 pick by the Steelers, but every year there's been some nagging injury. Say, friends, next Sunday, we hope you'll start your day with NFL 80, and host Brian Gumbel brings you all the latest news, scores, and highlights and more. And I'm going to be privileged to go to Chicago and interview Papa Bear, George Halas. That'll be one of the features next Sunday. So join us early, NFL 80. Check your listings for the time in your area, and another great lineup of games here on NBC. And be sure to stay tuned right where you are now, because there's a second game of the doubleheader, and each region will be blessed with some more outstanding NFL action. Well, John McKay, the clever wit head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we've gathered some of his many quotes, and he's a very interesting, delightful man. Key to getting into the playoffs, you've got to start the same 22. That's a very profound statement, and the Steelers know and feel that comment totally.
We gave you the rundown on the Steeler injuries earlier, and Cunningham happily walked off under his own power, but it looked like he did indeed take a shot to the ribs.
John Stallworth is in wide to the left, his first appearance, and another drop by Thornton, and that very nearly a lateral. You saw the Buccaneers go after the ball. But what was important about that play was not the incomplete pass, but the fact that John Stallworth, out for 7 weeks with a broken lower leg, a fibula, the small bone in the lower leg, is back in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a welcome return, number 82. There you see him, the far end of the huddle.
Neither team able to get much going offensively, Dick. The Pittsburgh Steelers converting 1 of 3 first downs. Tampa has yet to convert on a third down situation in this game.
And Bradshaw, 2 of 7 for 7 yards, facing 3rd and 15. 3 wide receivers in, Swan, Stallworth, and Smith. Bradshaw, a lot of time, intercepted by 52, Scott Brantley, and he takes it to the 49, and now the turnover sparks the emotions of the Tampa Bay fans.
Lynn Swan, a favorite receiver, and again, they're going to him in the early going, but no question that that ball had no chance of getting to Swan. Brantley there to pick it off. Actually, 2 linebackers fighting for it. You saw Brantley reading the pass quickly. Watch the pass kind of sail. Looked like it didn't have the customary zip from the Bradshaw pass. I think one of the reasons because of that thumb, he's going to have troubles with that today, Dick.
Oh, first down at the 48 for Tampa Bay. The give is to Bell. And he's all the way to the Pittsburgh 44-yard line. A gain of 9. Donnie Shell knocked him out of bounds.
Talking to the coach coaches of these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they said, you know, if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to do what we do best, which is to run the football. Now, they realize that they're running into the strength of this Pittsburgh defense. The Pittsburgh defense has been effective against the run. They've really been hurt by the passing game during this season. But on that particular play, they were able to convert a very good run and a second short.
Give to Bell again, up the middle, and a first down to the Pittsburgh 41-yard line. Gary Dunn, 67, made the tackle. Pittsburgh, with the injuries to Banaszak and White, have only one reserve for that four-man defensive line. So Chuck Noll's going to use Gary Dunn at various positions to try to give his other four men a breather today in this heat and humidity. First down for Tampa Bay. Scott Brantley's first pro interception, giving the Buccaneers field position. Williams to throw. Guns it complete to the 28-yard line to number 81, Isaac Hagan.
We talked about the important tools of this young quarterback. Right there, he demonstrated the strength of his arm. The pass that Bradshaw had thrown on the previous play was intercepted because it didn't have the zip to it. Watch this one. On a string. No chance to take that one away from Hagan.
A rifle shot for Hagan, who has not caught the ball as much as he did last year when he came up with 39 receptions.
Ball's got to hurt a little bit.
Get puffy hands after you catch a few of Williams' bullets. First down at the 29. Tampa Bay trailing 10-0 here in the first quarter. Ricky Bell weaving his way to the 26-yard line. One of my favorite quotes from Ricky Bell, who was one of 7 boys, is that he said, "Everything I am or the opportunity I have, I owe to my mom." And so many of the athletes feel that way about the women in their lives who have gotten them to their present state.
A lot of Pittsburgh folk brought their signs with them to Florida.
Second down, 7. Williams will throw. Going for 6. Touchdown! Kevin House, his first professional touchdown. He's going to keep the ball.
Chance to watch a pass that must be thrown perfectly because Ron Johnson had excellent position on Kevin House, but he took his eye off the man at the critical second when that ball was coming in and had no chance to react to it. You may see it here. He'd looked away briefly. House had his concentration full on the ball. That makes it 7, and it's a tied ball game, except for the three-pointer that they got earlier.
Okay. Darryl Yepremian's 58th consecutive extra point cuts Pittsburgh's lead to 3, and it's been the turnovers that have been the key today. A fumble left to a Pittsburgh field goal, a block punt to the touchdown. Now an interception by Brantley sparks the Buccaneers, and a 26-yard throw from Doug Williams to Kevin House, a rookie out of Southern Illinois. Well, he ran like a Saluki, the nickname of that university, and he picked off his first professional touchdown, and he's hugging that ball on the sideline.
Ron Johnson has been victimized by a number of the opponents of these Steelers during the season. He's the guy that most quarterbacks would like to pick on in a situation like that. Excellent against the run, has had his problems against the passing game. Many feel that before too many more games are passed, Dwayne Woodruff, who's a very, very speedy corner, may find his way into that lineup in place of Ron Johnson.
Russell Davis and Frank Pollard, 44 Pollard, is the deepest man. As Yepremian sets to kick it off, only uses a 4-yard run-up. It's to Davis at the 10, the 20, and cut down at the 30-yard line. Tackled by Tony Davis. There are no less than 4 Davises in this game, and you knew it wouldn't take long before 2 of them met. Tony Davis from Nebraska has just tackled Russell Davis of Michigan. And in case you're wondering, there are 3 other Davises all at the running back position for John McKay. Next Sunday, there's a lineup. Merlin and I will be in Pittsburgh. The Browns and Steelers in their rematch. Baltimore, Detroit, another great game. There's the lineup next Sunday, a doubleheader on NBC. From the 31, it's Blyer picking a hole. He's out to the 40-yard line, and a gain of 9 for the veteran Blyer from Notre Dame, the second oldest running back in the NFL, just a bit younger than Preston Pearson of Dallas.
Before that play, Dick, the Steelers were averaging just a half a yard on first down plays, which means that you're putting yourself in a desperate position on every first down. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, averaging 6.3 on their first downs early in this ball game. Bradshaw reversing it right there, puts himself in a second and short.
Animated Chuck Noll fired up on the sidelines. 10-7 Pittsburgh as Blyer blasts for the first down out to the 43. Richard Wood, the first three-time All-American in Southern California, made the tackle along with Dewey Solomon, 54 and 58.
Interesting to see the change in Chuck Noll. Working with him last year and the year before, withdrawn, very low visibility, but this year when his team started to have trouble, boy, he really came to the forefront, took some of the heat off his players, has become a more visible and a more emotional part of this scene.
Well, that is for certain. Yesterday, he spent all kinds of time with me talking about gourmet cooking. Sidney Thornton is into Tampa Bay territory as he powers his way all the way inside the 49. Dewey Solomon ran him out of bounds, about 2 yards short of another Pittsburgh first down.
We talk about number 20, Rocky Blyer, being a money player. One of the reasons he blocks as well as carries the football. He's not afraid to sell his body out in there, faking into the line. He's going to get in anybody's road he can for as many years as he's played. And as short as he is sometimes on the athletic end. And I kid him about not being a great athlete when you stack him up against some of these great running backs. He is a great performer, and I love him for that.
You bet. So many folks can identify with that. You've got all the talent, gifted talent, innate talent. A little easier. Thornton, first down and more. He's all the way to the 38-yard line, and they're ripping some big holes in that Tampa Bay front line. Mark Cotney, the safety man, made the tackle with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Steelers leading 10-7 and on the march.
Sidney Thornton leaving the field, Greg Hawthorne in. We didn't even list Thornton among the injured. He's still nursing a neck injury that has really taken away some of his effectiveness, but he did run effectively for the first down on that play.
Leading rusher in the game, Thornton, with 29 yards. Franco Harris probably will not play today. Blyer. First down, he gets it to the 35-yard line, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 for Pittsburgh. David Logan, Dewey Solomon made the tackle for Tampa Bay.
Interesting change in the game. I was talking to Mike Webster, the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said this is the 6th game in a row against the 3-4 team. We've got 6 more before we see our first 4-3 team, the San Diego Chargers. Well, I can remember when those percentages were exactly reversed, and it wasn't that many years ago.
In fact, you didn't see any 3-4 team. 2nd and 7 from the 35. The toss to Blyer. Well read. David Lewis, 57, supported by Curtis Jordan, 25, and also 52 Brantley.
Well, most of the action is going to feel like it's right in your living room. You get a chance to run with us from the end zone. Watch Brantley, 52 coming out, but it's 57. Lewis did a beautiful job. Just lifted him up off the ground and dumped him on his backside. That's some outstanding defensive play.
Danny Reese, the 5th defensive back, is in for Tampa Bay on 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers. Open Blyer. There he is. Boy, dollars and cents. The money man. Rocky Blyer, and a first down at the 26. Cotney made the tackle.
Dick, we talked at the top of the show about the problems that you incur when you cannot get pressure on the quarterback. And there was a perfect example of it. Bradshaw could have sat back there and eaten his lunch and read a book while he was getting ready to throw that one. And you cannot allow a good quarterback, can't allow a quarterback, period, to have that kind of time. Bucks are going to have to put some pressure on him.
Let's repeat that statistic. Tampa Bay is last in the NFL in sacks. They have only 10. Number 45, Russell Davis from the University of Michigan. Down to the 20-yard line before Lewis and Selman can make the tackle, but it's a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 as the first quarter comes to an end here at Tampa Stadium. Sellout, maybe the largest crowd in the history of the Bucs, 72,000. See the Steelers lead by 3. Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen, Tampa Stadium. The Steelers and Bucs, the first quarter statistics quite even.
Quite even in totals, a little bit different than the way they've been achieved. Steelers rushing very effectively here in the early going.
10-7, Pittsburgh leads Tampa Bay. First play of the second quarter. It is 2nd and 5 from the 20. The give to Greg Hawthorne. He has a first down at the Tampa Bay 19. David Logan chased him down with Dewey Selman. Hawthorne from Baylor, and congratulations to the Baylor Bears, who have clinched at least a tie for the Southwest Conference Championship. And Hawthorne, very proud of that, as is Frank Pollard, another ex-Baylor star. Excuse me, I think I said that was the 19, the 14-yard line. First down for the Steelers. What is that? Isn't it St. Petersburg that's very near Tampa Bay? Well, that's where our booth is. We're a long way from home here at Tampa Stadium. Leading 10-7. Bradshaw into the end zone. Touchdown or not? Did he catch it? The flag is down, so if he didn't catch it, it's on the 1-yard line for interference. Lynn Swan with a sliding maneuver to come up with a football.
I don't believe Swan caught the football, but I believe they're going to call interference on the play and put it on the 1-yard line. Chance for you to take your own look at it. Play action passing has been very tough on the Bucs during this season. Bradshaw throwing the ball low. No way to tell whether he caught it there. If he did get an idea, well, Aaron Brown says no, he didn't catch it. The official's going to make his announcement now.
Apparently he did not, because they put the ball on the 1-yard line. That'll be the interference call. No announcement. That's first and goal at the 1-yard line.
We'll just assume we're right then, Dick.
Maybe the first time. Up the middle, Hawthorne can't get in. Cedric Brown and Curtis Jordan up from the secondary to help out number 77, Bill Kohler.
Not very imaginative ball control running by Hawthorne, number 27. Looked like he just kind of half-heartedly threw his body in there. That's not what you teach a goal line runner. You teach him to explode up in there. If he can't find a hole, he's got to make one. That's his job.
He lost half a yard. It's 2nd and goal. Thornton is in, along with Russell Davis. Thornton. Touchdown, as he did just what you said, Merlin. He just ran right over number 34, Cedric Brown, and a little extracurricular activity.
It's not difficult to understand the emotional level, especially the Tampa Bucs. They don't like the fact that suddenly they're looking at the short end of a long score. Chance for you to watch Sidney Thornton. He's coming right into your living room. Good blocking on the line of scrimmage. A big hole in there. Thornton all alone. Now watch the little pushing match going on here. Sidney's probably saying, hey, I'm in the end zone, guys. You can let go of me now. I think that's what precipitated it. He is, in fact, well into the end zone. They're still trying to get him on the ground. There it is, right there, the little push right at the end. That's Cecil Johnson giving him a shove.
Well, Cecil Johnson, he went to the University of Pittsburgh, and he knows these Steelers. He said, I want to meet you more intimately now. Come on, let me get close to you. Thornton said, not that close. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So a minute and a half into the second quarter. The Steelers, after the Tampa Bay touchdown, march 69 yards to get the 7 back. Barr's kick out of Colquitt's hold. With a timeout here at Tampa Stadium, the Steelers have regained their 10-point lead. A touchdown by Thornton capping the 69-yard drive. As Barr kicks the extra point, and with 13.5 minutes left in the half, it's Pittsburgh 17, Tampa 7. Now with the Steel City fans here to cheer the Pittsburghs. It's 17-7. They've had a good time here in the beautiful weather of Florida. The kick by Barr to Gary Davis at the 5. Davis at the 20. Hurdles his way to the 25-yard line. J.T. Thomas, Donnie Shell, and others in on the tackle. Wayne Woodruff, 49, also off the bottom of the pile. So Tampa Bay trailing 17-7 after a 69-yard drive and 11 plays. Thornton with a touchdown for the Steelers.
Early going in this ball game, the Steelers able to dominate the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. That's something very unpleasant for Coach McKay and his defensive coordinator Tom Bass. They did not feel the Steelers would be able to do that to them.
Higgins to the right, Gordon Jones to the left, and that's Ricky Bell out to the 23-yard line. Merlin, Johnny Davis from Alabama, fullback, 235 pounds, has been inserted into the lineup the last two series by John McKay for his blocking strength. Davis, who has a continual limp, has been nicknamed by McKay Flat Wheel because he says he never comes off with the same limp. McKay, of course, he got off to a fairly bad start here in Tampa Bay, has well been logged. 0-26, but he's really brought this franchise together, fourth year into the playoffs. 2nd and 7. Williams sending house deep and throws short, tried to hit Ricky Bell incomplete. That's something that Tampa Bay has done more of, throwing to the backs. Bell already has more catches, and so does Eckwood at the halfway mark this year than they had all of last season.
Certainly in comparing the amount of pressure that Williams has had on him during the early part of the game as opposed to the pressure that Bradshaw has had, no question the Steelers are mounting a much better pass rush than the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Other action in the NFL today. 17-7 here in Tampa. Pittsburgh leading. Dallas and the Giants tied at 7 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Washington, I think that's Jack Pardee's first visit back to Chicago since he left the Bears, and they were waiting for Pardee and the Redskins in the Bear Den. Williams on 3rd down. Again had to throw it away. Donnie Shell had Jimmy Giles blanketed. Pressure from L.C. Greenwood on Doug Williams.
That's exactly what we talked about earlier, the fact that L.C. is doing a little freelancing. Freelancing broke him loose on that play. He came hard to the inside. Giles has been really stymied in past weeks. They'd like to go to him. He's a great athlete. They simply have not been able to get the ball to him. And on that play, again, unable to get it into his hands. Let him do something with it.
Blanchard, who had a punt blocked in the first quarter for a touchdown, kicks a beauty. Theo Bell at the 24. The 30. And the 34. 35 still on his feet. A flag is down. And Bell finally is dragged down by the kicker Blanchard at the 43-yard line. But check the penalty flag. I believe it's against the Steelers. And will nullify a beautiful 23-yard return by Bell.
Bell comes into this game leading the AFC in punt returns, second in the NFL overall, and would have beefed up his average very healthily with that one.
Against the Steelers, as signaled by Fred Wyant. So that will nullify Bell's fancy return and take it back to the 25-yard line for Pittsburgh.
We have a clip. Number 54, first down.
That accent very comfortable here in these parts.
Zach Valentine, 54, guilty of the clip. Let's see if we can see it.
The flag was thrown at the top of your screen. Pretty hard to see, but I don't think we're going to see it. I think it was thrown before we got into the action there.
Here's another angle. Watch the top of your screen. The flag was thrown from the far sideline. Look for 54. And he's not there. And Bell, all that effort, 4-0. Timeout, 17-7 Steelers, early second quarter. The Pittsburgh Steelers, one full game behind Houston and Cleveland in defense of their AFC Central Division Championship and Super Bowl. Lead 17-7 over John McKay's Buccaneers. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Bradshaw swings it incomplete. Russell Davis was not looking for the football. David Lewis, 57, covering for Tampa Bay.
Chuck Noll putting a lot of people in and out of the game. As we said, it is hot, it is humid, and the ability to perform certainly affected by those conditions, especially for a team that trains in the cool weather.
Tampa Bay will get the other side of that coin next week when they travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings. It might be a few degrees difference in temperature. It's 82 at game time today here in Tampa.
Maybe even some of that funny white stuff on the ground.
You bet. Something that Terry Bradshaw has never been bothered by in Pittsburgh. Up the middle, and Davis all the way to the 32-yard line, but that's short of the first down. Will bring up 3rd down and 3. Dewey Selman and Cecil Johnson made the tackle.
Anytime you're running the ball effectively on the inside, you're getting good blocking from your linemen. Webster just overwhelming the nose man there, Logan. McGriff doing a good job. And although there were 4 Bucks in on the tackle, they're making that tackle after the ball carrier is well into the secondary.
Jim Smith, top of your screen. Split left is Theo Bell. Randy Grossman, the tight end, to the left. Hawthorne and Davis, 2 youngsters behind Bradshaw. Smith, incomplete. Not well thrown, and that's the real tip-off that Bradshaw is not 100%. That's just easy pickings for him. He takes home all the Cupid dolls on that pass when he's healthy, and he one-hopped it to Smith.
Bradshaw 3 of 11. Those percentages, as well as the way those passes are being thrown, he has, I think, when he's on, better control of the football than any quarterback we watch week in and week out. And he'll put it on a nickel or a dime, but he certainly did not do a good job of delivering that one.
Deep to return, Danny Reese set an NFL record last year, 70 punt returns, only 1 fair catch. Beautiful kick by Colquitt. Reese at the 16, the 20. Spins and gets to the 24-yard line. Good coverage by the Steelers. Key man downfield, Dwayne Woodruff, and 51, Lauren Taves. Calvin Sweeney, 85, also a piece of the action. Timeout, 11 minutes left in the first half. 15-7. It'll be Tampa's ball at the 25-yard line.
I think while we have a second here, it might be interesting to set the needs of these two teams. Both of them obviously feel this game is terribly important to the remainder of their season. The Steelers, however, want to solve some of their own interior problems. They're doubting themselves, asking questions. A good performance here, a continuation of what they've started in the first half would go a long way toward doing that.
We want to pursue that point. The Steelers, for the first time in a long time, a lot of self-examination and concern. Big hole, and Ricky Bell gains 10 yards to the 35-yard line before Donnie Shell can bring him down. First down.
Coming off of the right side, Joe Green, number 75, gets cut down from behind on that play. Bell finding lots of room to run. Ham driven downfield, late getting in on it. Like number 31, Donnie Shell, as you said, Dick, the man who finally had to come up and make it. Not a good stat when your safety is the last man between the runner and the goal line.
So it's a first down, Tampa Bay, trailing 17-7. Doug Williams flares it out to Johnny Davis, and Davis, one of the many Buck Davises, is out to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Almost looks as if Williams is afraid of his power as a thrower. I mean, he just almost wants to apologize, just flip that ball out there. He really has a live arm. I wonder if he was a baseball pitcher.
I think he was a fine baseball player at Grambling. You know, his older brother Robert was a AAA, made it to the AAA level professional ball as a pitcher. And his younger brother Mike is following his footsteps at Grambling as the Grambling quarterback. He's a senior. 2nd and 7. Bell out to the 43. Jack Ham 59. And Dennis Winston 53 on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Bucks. Here's an update, and a surprising one at that. The Giants holding their own with the Cowboys at 14 with 10 minutes left in the first half. Robert Newhouse, in fact, has just scored for Dallas to tie the Giants. 3rd down, Pittsburgh 2 of 7 in converting today. Tampa Bay 0 of 3. On 3rd and 2. Bell, there wasn't a hole, so he found one and has a first down near midfield at the 49.
rather a strange play. Watch Ricky Bell now coming in from the left of your screen. That's the hole he's supposed to go through there. He just jumped to the outside. Everyone on the ground to the inside, and Bell turns it into a first down and a fine game. The first conversion on a third down for these Tampa Bay Bucs.
And Bell showing his great athletic talent as he just skipped to daylight. He was second to Tony Dorsett for the Heisman as a senior back in '76. Williams into a crowd, and what a catch by Jimmy Giles. 10 yards, and Giles fighting off 2 Steelers to make the grab.
No question, the man who would like to be out there and maybe could have had something to do with keeping that pass from being caught, number 58, Lambert himself. He's so mad he made the camera shake.
When he yelled, the camera did shake.
Scared our cameraman, I think.
I don't blame him. Oh, Lambert, of all the injuries, though, Merlin, maybe that's the most serious, losing Lambert.
Well, I think they missed not only his emotional leadership, Dick, but he is one of the best coverage men as a linebacker in the NFL.
It's a first down from the 40 as Williams back to throw again. Great toss, but incomplete to Kevin House. Flag down, and coverage by Donnie Shell, and he has not gotten up. Shell diving to drop it away, knock it away. You see the activity on the far sidelines as the Steelers fighting off that heat and humidity.
Physical nature of this game unfolding in several ways. We've had a lot of people on the line of scrimmage and knocked down and not getting up quickly. Chance for you to see it here. Shell, number 31, the man who gets whacked, comes in behind.
Personal foul, head slap, 68.
Actually ended up hurting himself as he went to the ground. Just fell on the ground there.
And meanwhile, you heard referee Wyant indicate that L.C. Greenwood, number 68, guilty of a head slap and a 15-yard penalty, takes it all the way to the 25-yard line. J.T. Thomas, 24, has to replace Shell. First down, Tampa Bay trailing 17-7. Bell again picking his hole, gets to the 22. Let's pause briefly. Station identification from Tampa. This is the NBC television network.
In Cincinnati, this is your Sports Connection, WLWT TV5.
Ricky Bell closer to the 21-yard line. Second down and 6 to Kenberg Merlin Olsen. Tampa Stadium sold out since July for this one. The Steelers leading the Bucs 17-7, but Tampa Bay generating a long march and now has it second and 6 at the Steelers 21. Both wide receivers to the left, and Eckwood now makes it a triple left. Williams down the middle, complete. Kevin House, who has his first pro touchdown earlier, has a first and goal at the 9.
We're going to give you a chance to suit up, put on your helmet, watch Williams, number 12, the quarterback, and watch the rifle on this ball. Maybe you can catch it right in your living room. There it comes, right into the hands of Kevin House. If that ball is not zipped, that is a possible interception or, at best, a bat away. Taves right there on the spot, number 51. He had no chance. That ball, again, on a string.
Larry Cirillo, our producer, had that camera in the right place at the right time. Ricky Bell dropped for a loss back at the 12-yard line. And Harry Coyle, our director, working here in Tampa today. And, boy, I like that low-angle shot right where you really do get a sense, a feel for the power and the intensity of this game.
This is a physical football game, too, Dick. And we've seen, as I said, a number of players go to the sideline with injuries already. Some very physical hitting going on down on the line of scrimmage. And the early battle was being won on the line of scrimmage by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tampa now asserting itself and coming back.
That's a big play by the Steeler defense on first down, a -3, so it's second and goal from the 12. Williams wide open. Jimmy Giles, touchdown. No one from Pittsburgh within 15 yards of Giles.
Not even a play-action fake. A blitz on the way. And I think maybe number Dirt Winston, the man who should have been there in coverage, although we'll never know. There wasn't even anyone close enough to blame. A chance to see it now. Williams, seeing Giles pop open, just fired it up in the air. And, of course, Giles looking around saying, hey, it was supposed to be harder than this.
Yepremian nails on the extra point, and the Bucs are right back in it. Jimmy Giles not checked at the line of scrimmage, open and alone for an easy score. A 12-yard pass from Williams, and it's a three-point game with 5:24 left in the first half. Steelers 17, Bucs 14. Tampa Bay's Buccaneers have just gone 95 yards or 75 yards in 9 plays, and they've drawn within 3 of Pittsburgh. The kick by Yepremian, aimed toward Pollard, taken from Pollard by Davis at the 15, the 20, and Russell Davis to the 28-yard line. Met there by Aaron Brown, the former All-American at Ohio State, and another former Buckeye, Neil Cozy, number 20. Interesting statistic Joe Costanzas handed me, Merlin Olsen. First down plays today. Pittsburgh, now there you see the numbers on the scoring drive. First down plays, Pittsburgh 2.7 yards average, Tampa Bay 5.5 yards.
Tampa, as we said, taking advantage of first down passing against the Steelers and getting some big hits on first down.
Bradshaw to Thornton. And the defense of the Buccaneers, David Logan and David Lewis there to drop him for a loss at the 26-yard line.
We'd indicated that the Steelers really don't seem to have the kind of confidence that characterized them through the 1979 season and even in the early part of this season. You're seeing it here. They're a little tentative, and I think part of it comes out of the fact that they're not used to making the glaring kind of mistakes that you just saw on a play that, I mean, it shocked everyone. And I think the offense is impacted by that, too. They're looking tentative out there.
It used to be the Steelers' offense would score, and they say, okay, defense, go get them, stop them, you'll get us the ball in 3 downs. It's not working out that way. Over the middle to Blyer, 31-yard line. That's short of a first down by plenty, and brings up third down as Scott Brantley, 52, and David Lewis, 57, make the tackle, and Brantley, 52. He's about as exciting a young linebacker as we've seen all season. He really goes to the ball.
He also has 4.7 speed that helps him get there.
And he's not afraid to throw his body around, as we've already seen. Danny Reese comes in as the 5th defensive back for the Buccaneers. Third down and 6. And a long 6 for Bradshaw. Stallworth is in. A lot of time. Batted. Incomplete. It was knocked in the air by number 65, David Stalls, and the Buccaneer fans cheer the defense.
Chance for you to get a sight at it from the end zone. Bradshaw back, has all kinds of time. Only a 3-man rush, but Logan, number 76, just skied on that play, timed it perfectly, it batted that ball away. Couldn't see if the receiver was open, but obviously Bradshaw thought he was.
Both Stalls and Logan were there. It was Logan who tipped the pass. Colquitt delivers the punt to Danny Reese at the 20. Reese gets a block and another, but Lauren Taves makes the play for Pittsburgh. Taves, number 51. Zach Valentine, 54, injured, has not gotten up. Reese, a rare fumble for him, but he was able to scoop it up immediately.
Cotney, number 33, the man who blocked the second time. The ball bouncing around here, and very often when the timing is off on a play like this, you get a big play. Watch the block at the top of your screen by number 33, Cotney, right there on Zach Valentine, 54. But Taves showing us more speed than we could have expected. A very, very big play.
Mark Cotney throw the block on 54 in white.
Oh, you saw the head snap right forward, but the block, a very clean block, taken high with the shoulder, not the helmet. Cotney just doing his job, and the game of football is a violent and at times a brutal game. Had Cotney wished to injure Zach Valentine, he would have hit him in a different way, would have gone after his knees or would have put his helmet into the chest or into the head. Did not do that. A very clean block, but a very wicked block in that it really devastated Zach Valentine.
Tampa Bay will have the ball at the 20-yard line. That's good news. Valentine able to get off under his own power. That's a fourth Steeler that has received attention today. Cunningham, Valentine, Donnie Shell, and Wolfley all have been down with hard hits from Tampa Bay. John McKay said yesterday, to win, we have to play a very physical game against a very physical team, the Steelers.
And that's something that's been absent in this Buck style of play. They have not been dominating the line of scrimmage. They have not been delivering that kind of intensity in the games they've played during this season.
17-14, Tampa Bay trails. They have the ball at their own 20. 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Bell out to about the 24-yard line. Ron Johnson, Jack Ham make the tackle. John McKay, who was taken from USC to coach the expansion team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, back in 1976. And at the time, he said, how long will it take to be a championship team? 5 years to build a contender. Because they got a 5-year contract. 6 if I'd had a 6-year contract. Well, now he has 5 more years. He's going to be here for 5 more. He's done a good job in a short period of time. Eckwood, just when it appeared he had some running room, Dennis Winston, 53, closed the door. So it'll be 3rd down and 4. Let's go to New York. Brian Gumble here in Tampa Bay at 17-14. The Steelers leading the Bucks out at NFL 80. All right, Brian, of course, Cleveland will be playing at Pittsburgh next Sunday. Wide open is Hagan. First down at the 40-yard line as Williams hits Isaac Hagan.
A 14-yard completion. Again, first down passing. And although the Pittsburgh Steelers have adjusted their thinking, they're still having difficulty, having some extreme difficulty in getting to the quarterback. Or the second down play.
A 2-minute warning has been given here in Tampa Bay. The Pittsburgh Steelers lead by 3 against Tampa Bay, but the Bucks are on the move. And the Bucks have the ball, plenty of time. All timeouts remaining. 2 minutes left, first half. That last first down pass from Williams to Higgins, who was wide open after Ron Johnson slipped and fell on the coverage. Higgins in motion. Toss it to Jerry Eckwood. Flag goes down as Eckwood is hit out of bounds at the 39. L.C. Greenwood. He's 34, but he still moves with the quickness of youth there to get Eckwood out of bounds.
Greenwood, a performance leader for so many years. And one of the questions being asked, and you indicated it earlier, are people like L.C. Greenwood, Joe Green, Mike Wagner, they're all over 30 years old on that defense. Are they getting too old to perform as they did once? But obviously they have lost some of their zip, no question about it. They have not, however, lost their ability to play the game of football, and you saw L.C. doing a good job there.
And Paul Zimmerman had an interesting article in the current edition of Sports Illustrated just addressing himself to that fact. Is this it for the Steelers? Are they through, or will they be able to put the pieces
There is no foul.
No foul. Well, that's one that both the Steeler and the Tampa Bay fans can applaud because neither knew against whom that flag was thrown. Jack Lambert has come into the huddle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lambert, 58, has been inserted into the lineup. They couldn't keep him on the sideline. Doug Williams has completed 5 passes in a row, and this is a passing down, and there's Lambert. And Williams is going to throw. Jack Ham, 59, buries Eckwood. No, it was Bell with the ball, as Ham, the great outside linebacker, read it well.
Chance to watch it again. Williams making the look downfield and then dropping it off, a little screen pass, but he didn't fool the veteran All-Pro 59 Jack Ham, and he comes up and puts a crunching tackle. You can see the excitement. Lambert looking quickly, reading the play well, reading the fake play well. Giles now knows the play, but watch him protect himself here. He said, hey, I got a bad spin here, and it plays over already. It's just none of that blocking stuff.
3rd down and 15. Higgins, too far. Now Higgins, the ball thrown out of bounds. Mike Wagner on the coverage for the Steelers.
You get it again. The incredible power. Doug Williams' arm, he just flicked that ball out there, and it just continued and continued. Has a little trouble at times with his release. Tends to release the ball a little early, and the ball will take off. But Steve Burnett was helping him that time, getting there, putting some good pressure on him.
Tom Blanchard to kick it to Theo Bell. Bell at the 28, on the run, 35, picks up a blocker. And he takes it all the way to the 46-yard line, so Terry Bradshaw is going to have good field position. And 50 seconds remaining in the first half when the Steelers put it in play, leading 17-14. So right now to NFL 80 and Bryant. Up to date on all the scores, and Rocky Blyer down to the 45 of Tampa Bay. And the Steelers are not going to use one of their 3 timeouts. 41, now they call time. 41 seconds left in the half here in Tampa, with Pittsburgh in front 17-14, and Terry Bradshaw, those ribs encased in that flak jacket. You think that's going to be a trend that the quarterbacks and wide receivers are going to go to that device to protect themselves?
I think with as many injuries as we have seen during this season, especially critical injuries, just on this team to receivers and quarterbacks, that might become mandatory equipment. Certainly the technology is there now of building a light enough protective device that it could be worn without hindering the performance. A number of players wearing them now as a part of their regular gear. I think we're going to see more and more of it, Dick.
A reminder, next Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and put on your flak jackets and watch Games People Play. We'll have the last semifinal round of the 3-ton tug-of-war, the Machinists versus the Firemen, plus Kansas City slugger George Brett enlightening us on Over the Line, a fascinating baseball game for all. Shecky Green, one of the truly funny people in this world, master of ceremonies and America's best bartender, as the best from the East and the West meet to test their skills. That's all next Saturday on Games People Play here on NBC, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. A new time for Games People Play, so note that, not Thursday, but Saturday. 65, Tom Beasley in that cold, wet towel trying to cool off.
I talked to Ralph Berlin, the trainer for the Steelers, asked him if he was making any special plans on the sideline. He said, not really. He said, one of the dangers of doing unique things to keep the players cool is you get them thinking about the heat. And very often the psychological impact is the worst part of it.
2 timeouts left. 41 seconds remain. First half. Bradshaw, 3 wide receivers in. All the time in the world. Complete to Stallworth. A juggling catch by Stallworth. His first in nearly 2 months.
Richard Wood, the linebacker, back and had his hand up. Got a piece of that ball, but Stallworth holding onto that leg. And boy, that, if he has indeed re-injured that leg, that would be a very costly reception.
Oh, my. Here it is again. Tip, Stallworth, juggling. He makes the catch, but it could be the most costly reception of the season for the Steelers.
3-man rush. They're dropping 8 men off to cover. Bradshaw, again, could take time to eat his lunch. You see Bradshaw, he's kind of falling away from his passes. That one completed, but not the kind of pass that Terry normally throws. Very, very concerned Chuck Noll, along with Dick Houck, the backfield coach there. Watch Bradshaw drop away from the ball here. He's not following through. And again, that may be his hand. His elbow is hurt. His ribs are hurt. But what a costly play.
Stallworth is able to leave under his own power, and he's not walking with a limp, Merlin, so maybe it wasn't that lower leg that was hit. That catch gives him a consecutive string now of 47 straight games, and which make that 46 in a row, in which he has caught at least 1 pass. That's the Pittsburgh record.
Well, it's difficult to tell. He may be in great pain, but just too proud to admit it going off the field.
Give it to Blyer. He's inside the 20 when Scott Brantley, Leroy Selman and company make the tackle. The Steelers quickly without a huddle. Clock at 18. They've got 2 timeouts left. Touchdown to Lynn Swann, right through the hands of 2 Buccaneers, and to Lynn Swann for the the score, and that gives Swan the all-time Pittsburgh record for touchdowns. He has just passed Buddy Dial.
For the second play in a row, the ball is batted by one of the Buck defenders. Watch it right there. 54 Wood again. The second time that he has tipped the ball up. The first one to Stallworth, and that one to Swan on a touchdown. Lynn Swan on his own, cutting to the inside. The ball thrown short. Not a good pass, but the ball bounced out of what might have been an interception into a completion and a touchdown. Extra point is up and good, and the Steelers have put 7 points on the board in the final seconds of this first half.
Merlin, it took them only 4 plays to go the 54 yards. They were a bit lucky, but they'll gladly accept that good fortune as Wood, who was a former teammate of Swan, tips the ball, and Lynn Swan right there. Buddy Dial and Lynn Swan starting today both had 42 touchdown catches, and Swan all alone. Many times he's been all alone, and he's just that in the record book now for Pittsburgh.
Great irony. One of the people that Bass talked about was Wood, and what a fine job he's done in pass coverage, getting deep as he was on that play, getting into perfect position, but a critical mistake. Can't allow that ball to bounce into the air. Watch it again. You see that ball just bouncing. Now, it looks like there might have been an interception here had that ball continued on its track. Had it not been bounced, I believe it was Brantley who would have had the interception because the ball was thrown short. As it was, bounced off the hands of Wood, over Brantley's head, and into the waiting hands of Swan.
There's just a little chip shot by Barr, goes out of bounds, and a penalty flag with it. Calvin Sweeney all but knocked up into the second row. Tony Davis over there for Tampa Bay.
Tough Tony, as they call him back at home, and he's going to be assessed a penalty here. That's a needless foul. He took a shot. Tony, by the way, used to play with those Steelers. I'm sure he's feeling some frustration.
No time consumed as the Buccaneers did not touch the ball. 3 seconds remain. Fred Wyant. There's at least a 5-yard penalty. Offside.
Out of bounds. Personal foul, receiving team. Kick again.
No penalty. 3 flags on the play. Now Lynn Swan's catch of that deflected pass makes it 24-14 Pittsburgh, and John McKay said that about Lynn Swan, his former player before the game. Well, you'd have to be lucky to be in the right spot. Even Coach McKay may not have known the ball would take that kind of bounce.
Oh, there's no question. You have to be lucky to continue to win in the NFL, but who would have thought that Bradshaw would be completing them by bouncing them off the hands of the Buck linebackers?
You can see by that short kick from Barr that the Steelers' attitude is not to kick it deep. Don't give them a chance to return one here. We've got a 10-point lead at halftime. 3 seconds left. Let's not give them a chance. Stay tuned. Brian will have all the scores and highlights for you at halftime on NFL 80. And stay with us. A big second game of our NBC doubleheader to follow.
We have a personal foul on the ball, dead ball, penalized from the 35.
That was for the hit out of bounds, I believe, by Tony Davis, although there was no number given. That takes precedence. And on the dead ball, it doesn't matter about the offside and ball out of bounds. They marked off the 15 yards after the play. So Barr kicks it from the 50.
You said a personal foul, 15-yard penalty. Even if there is a 5-yard penalty on the other team, must be assessed. It is assessed there. They'll re-kick it, having marked off the penalty.
Davis deep at the goal line. Let's see if Barr kicks it that way. Now they'll just let this one go through the end zone. So Doug Williams will have a chance at one desperation pass with 3 seconds left. And a very active first half, and Merlin going back to our set of this game. Here were two teams known for their defensive prowess last year. The #1 defensive team in the NFL was Tampa Bay. 23rd this year. They've given up 24 points, although not all against the defense, to be certain. We did have a blocked punt. But nevertheless, 24 against Tampa Bay in one half. That was plenty for a whole game last year.
Very frustrating, I'm sure, for Coach McKay. And the strange thing is they're playing with the same people on defense that they played with last year. It isn't that they've had a lot of people out of the lineup.
Last play, unless we have a penalty of the first half. And they stay on the ground. No gain as Eckwood, well, he picked up a yard to the 21. The end of the first half before this big sellout crowd. 24-14 Steelers. The second half underway. Davis at the 7. And he's out to the 25-yard line. Tripped up by Tunch Ilkin, number 62 from Indiana State. Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen at Tampa Stadium. Should be the largest crowd in Tampa's 5-year history. Third quarter has been the bugaboo for the Buccaneers. 14 points, and they scored those 14 in one game. So the other 8 games, they've been shut out. And this, the third period, that provoked John McKay to say, we're just thinking about going right from the second quarter into the fourth quarter, forget all about the third period. Well, sometimes those trends are reversed, and that's what Tampa Bay needs, is Hagan's in motion. Williams to throw. Complete. That's to Jerry Eckwood, and he dives out to the 34-yard line, just short of a first down. Steelers have done well in the third quarter. The fourth quarter has been their rough period.
They've actually been outscored, I think it's 60-42 in the fourth quarter, and that fourth quarter may be the critical one today because of the heat and humidity. Actually, last year, the record's quite reversed. They scored 148, only gave up 48 to lead the league in both departments.
And we'll watch what happens now in this second half. Williams on 2nd and 1. It's to Bell, and a first down, I believe, before Jack Ham made the hit. The halftime statistics, these are the official stats. And the total yardage, 153 for the Bucs, 143 for Pittsburgh. As the Steelers got one touchdown on the block punt.
Most of that yardage for the Bucs coming on the touchdown throw to Kevin House down the right sideline. They really didn't get a lot of yardage other than that, although Ricky Bell has made a couple of good runs and started off getting something going here.
Measurement for the first down, and Tampa Bay gets another series of 4.
First down passing again. The key there. As Doug Williams dropped back, had time to throw. Really what happened, I think, Dick, more than anything, Brian Sipe showed everyone how vulnerable Pittsburgh was to first down passing. Hit on 14 of 21 for 194 yards in that Cleveland-Pittsburgh game.
And he's off to a good start today against Baltimore. Under pressure, Williams has a man open, but it's out of bounds. Isaac Hagan's a little 5'9" receiver from Southern University. He may have broken the world long jump record trying to hang out there, hoping he could come down in bounds.
When you're trying to get pressure on a quarterback and you're having problems, you come with the blitz. They came with 2 linebackers there. But watch number 81, Isaac Hagan. He does sky on this one. The ball again took off. Looked like Williams released it a little high, and it just shot out there. House is suspended.
Get him back down on the ground.
Bring him down, fellas.
Yeah, all right. Isaac is back in the game. He's wide left. Kevin House now in. 2nd and 10 from the 35. Eckwood in motion. Bell on a draw. Nothing there except Jack Ham, 59. Ham, who received more votes than any defensive player when they named the team of the decade of the 70s. What an honor for 59 Jack Ham from Penn State. Young man out of high school, didn't make his high school team as a starter till a senior, was drafted by only Virginia Military Institute. And it was kind of a last opening at Penn State. They found a scholarship not used, and they went after Ham, and Joe Paterno mighty happy about that. 3rd and 11. Over the middle, complete.
started backing up. And he must have backed up for 20 yards. He was so tickled by this throw. Again, the power right there. He guns that ball. Beautiful strike, perfectly, and well caught by Schumann. But there's no question, again, that the powerful arm of Williams is the reason that a pass like that is thrown and completed.
Bill Blunt had exceptional coverage. Number 47 was tracking the man all the way. Ball was there. First down play to Bell. He pulls to the 45. A gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. How important is the first possession of the second half? You go into the locker room, you're down by 10. Now you get the ball. You know you're going to get it on the kickoff to start the second half.
Dick, I've always felt that you really kind of set tempo with that first series offensively and defensively. Obviously, you've made some changes, hopefully, that will help you. You come out and you assert yourself at the beginning of the second half. Very, very important emotionally.
Tampa Bay has driven into Pittsburgh territory, second and 7. Williams. 45. He stepped out of bounds back at the 43. He thought he had made the dive for a first down, but his right foot, I believe it was, stepped out of bounds as he made his cut back at the 43, short of the first down.
Bum Phillips says that this young man is the fastest quarterback in the NFL. Does a neat bit of running here. Actually wanted to throw the football. Didn't want to have to run. Gets away from LC. You see the foot go out of bounds right there. I've got to believe he knew that foot was out of bounds. He just dived to protect himself.
And give Greenwood credit. He got enough of a piece of Williams to send his momentum laterally and get him out of bounds. With his third, and call it a long 4. Wing. Incomplete. He had Eckwood open, but overshot him. Lambert, Jack Lambert, in case you weren't with us the first half, was been injured with a knee. Came back into the lineup midway in the second half. And just his very presence has to bring some emotional lift to that defense.
I think there's no question about that. Very important that he get healthy. And he said it won't be long until he'll be playing again.
Blanchard, with only Bell back, aims it for the sidelines, out of bounds. It's not going to be quite that good. He's going to come out past the 10, I believe. No, 7-yard line. That was a good kick. 7-yard line.
Well, if you don't get it drive yourself in that first one, at least you don't want to give your opponent anything to work with. Blanchard saw to that as he pits the Steelers back at their 7-yard line. Going to have a lot of green.
Pittsburgh's first possession of the second half. Terry Bradshaw will put it in play from the 7-yard line. Clouds forming off in the distance. There was a threat of some rain, they said, for the second half. Cleveland leading Baltimore 14-6 in the second quarter. And Detroit, the leader in the NFC Central, Tampa Bay's division, is trailing 3-0 at Minnesota. Flyer right into the arms at 25. Curtis Jordan, the left corner from Texas Tech. David Lewis also putting pressure on the runner Blyer. 24-14 Steelers here in Tampa. Let's check on other games with Brian Gumbel. An extra point could come back and haunt the Colts. Second and 10, Pittsburgh added 7. Greg Hawthorne to the 9-yard line, and that swarming young defense of the Bucs, led by Richard Wood, 54, and David Logan, 76. And an entry on the play to David Lewis, 57. Boy, 6'4", 245 pounds is Lewis, and he runs the 40 in 4.65. Some running backs aren't that fast. So while they attend to Lewis, let's take a break. 10 minutes, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. The Steelers lead by 10. 72,000, most of them dressed in orange, in support of the Buccaneers. It is third down, 8 at the 9-yard line. Bradshaw completes to Grossman at the 17, or did he drop the ball? He is tackled immediately.
I think he's got it, but I don't think he's got the first down. It'll be very, very close. Grossman catching the pass, but going to the ground, they're going to have to probably bring it in and measure it.
Cecil Johnson, 56, former Pitt star, made the tackle.
Bradshaw back, has time to throw. 2 people over to block on on Leroy Selman. And you see there, looked like his feet slipped out. Randy's feet kind of slipped out from underneath him, and he went to the ground. He was trying to cut back to the inside. Would have had some fine extra yardage.
But he did get enough for the first down, and good news for Tampa Bay, as David Lewis, out for just one play, is okay. 57 Lewis back in the game. Bradshaw is team in front, 24-14, first down at the 18. Play action. Wide open, Jim Smith. And at the 32-yard line, a first down as Smith, who has been brilliant with the injuries to Swan and Stallworth. He has caught 33 passes, 8 for touchdowns.
Get an idea of the speed and the control of Jim Smith. And something else that's interesting, Bradshaw had some zip on that ball and really has come out in the second half throwing with more authority. I wonder if perhaps he just said, hey, forget about the pain in that thumb, just throw the dang football and let's get going here.
First down at the 32, and back to the air. Throws to Thornton, breaks the tackle, and out to the 43-yard line. And that is a rarity. Leroy Selman had his man, and Thornton slipped away.
But you get a feeling for a player, as you said, who was the most valuable defensive player last year. He reacted so quickly to that play and came with great speed, had great position. Unfortunately, blew it all by missing the tackle, but he is a fine player. And I'm sure it's very frustrating for him, Dick, to have 2 and 3 people blocking on him constantly. Has to take the heart out of you eventually.
Selman indeed has been double-teamed and triple-teamed most of the year after winning the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award last season. Gain of 2, second and 8. Blyer puts his head down and fights his way near the 39. Number 40, the right corner, Mike Washington, and Leroy Selman trailing the play, made the tackle.
Can't make always the great plays. Let's watch number 63, Selman, again going inside, getting a good block by 66, Ted Peterson. But he's coming inside out with good speed, and although totally out of position to the inside, made it all the way back outside to get a piece of that tackle. Fine speed for the big man.
He was the first player picked in 1976. Leroy Selman, the Outland Trophy winner, the top college lineman, and then the NFL Defensive Player of the Year last season. 3rd and 3. Blyer, first down at the 47-yard line. Washington tripped him up after an 8-yard gain.
Randy Grossman, not normally known as a blocker, and really not one of the biggest or most physical tight ends in the league, absolutely buried Cecil Johnson on that play to clear the way on the outside. And also T. Bell, who's not a very big man, an outstanding blocker on that play. T is supposed to come in and pick somebody off, looks around for somebody to throw at, and gets a shot at Cedric Brown's legs there.
Well, that's the difference sometimes between a short and a long game. Those wide receivers who will go down and knock down a defensive back. First down at the 46. Blyer again. This time they went to that left side one time too many as Richard Wood, 54, Leroy Selman, and Cecil Johnson all in on the tackle. Let's pause briefly for station identification from Tampa, Florida. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is Bengal Country, WLWT TV5 in Cincinnati.
6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Steelers with the ball and the lead here at Tampa Stadium. It is second, call it 11, at the 46 of Pittsburgh. On the 9th play of this drive, incomplete. Randy Grossman, the intended receiver, at the 44. David Lewis on the coverage.
But that was the Terry Bradshaw that we have watched. Realized that the receiver was in a position where if the ball was thrown high, possibly intercepted. Gunned it low, a chance only for one man to catch that ball, and that was Randy Grossman.
Bradshaw, 9-19. It's a high compliment when one athlete has a picture of another athlete on the back side of the door of his locker. That is the case with Bradshaw, and we'll tell you what player has that picture after this play. 3rd and 11. Lots of time. Almost intercepted by Cedric Brown. It was intended for Jim Smith. Well, as Bradshaw leaves the field, His autographed picture is in the locker of none other than the quarterback of the Buccaneers, Mr. Doug Williams. Doug Williams, it says, "God bless you, Terry Bradshaw's autograph." So Williams said, "I'm from Louisiana, and so is Bradshaw, and he has been my hero, and I'm proud to have his picture in my locker. I hope someday I'm as successful as he has been."
Well, as you said, he certainly has the tools. He does need some polish.
Greg Colquitt, he's kicking better than he has for a while, although that's a low one to Reese at the 12. Little Olay sidestep, flag down. Reese has stopped at the 10-yard line. Good coverage by Pittsburgh after the 43-yard Colquitt punt. Lauren Taves made the tackle.
Boy, those punts are dangerous, though. He's not getting any hang time on him, Dick, and that's the kind that scare the death out of your special team coach on the side, because they're very, very difficult to cover.
Personal foul goes against Tampa Bay, so they'll mark that half the distance, about the 6-yard line. John McKay, telephone contact with Bill Nelson, his former quarterback at USC, former star with the Cleveland Browns, his son working with us here in the booth.
Number 25, receiving team, first down.
Curtis Jordan with a penalty. First down for Tampa Bay, and a timeout here at Tampa Stadium. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Steelers 24, Bucks 14. 56-year-old John McKay, who played at Oregon in the late 40s. Norm Van Brocklin was the quarterback on those teams with the Ducks and went to USC 16 years. He's talking with his offensive coordinator. Bill Nelson doesn't have the best seat in the house, does he?
Well, in a way he does. Nelson was on the sideline for a long time. McKay finally moved him upstairs because they were taking too much time calling the plays. Now Nelson communicates directly with McKay, has the advantage of seeing the defenses, and they've saved themselves some trouble and some penalties as a result.
Ball at the 6-yard line. Tampa Bay trailing 24-14. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. That's Ricky Bell out to the 11-yard line. Bell does a lot of things well. One of those is to hold on to the football. He has a great record regarding not fumbling the football. In terms of percentage, they had it worked out. That's one of the lowest, third lowest in the last 5 years in the NFL.
Very important. Obviously, Pittsburgh having trouble in that. They lead the NFL in coughing the football up. It's been one of the problems they've had during this season.
Been working on his footwork, too, as Bell. He married a dance major from UCLA this last year. 2nd and 5. Williams going long. Had him open, but couldn't hit Gordon Jones. The former Pittsburgh All-American had beaten Mel Blount. Let's go to New York. Brian Gumbel. 3rd and 5. With a first down at the 28-yard line.
Again, Doug Williams showing you that rifle arm. Pittsburgh not able to get much pressure. A stunt by big L.C. Greenwood. He actually got there in pretty good time. Williams just moved to the outside and then fired a shot right into the hands of his receiver, Eckwood. Eckwood doing a good job of controlling that football. Watch L.C. Greenwood goes for the feet right there. Ball actually came out there like a squawking duck.
You have to have a strong arm to throw even those wobblers. Ooh, fumble, and Pittsburgh has recovered. Now, we just talked about Bell not fumbling, but he was scissored by 2 Steelers, and L.C. Greenwood comes up with a ball after Ham and Lambert had popped him from both sides.
We talked about the inspirational factor that Lambert brings to the defense. Certainly, he and Jack Ham doing a good job right there, swarming all over the top of Ricky Bell. And L.C. Greenwood, tremendously alert. Oh, there's no question that Lambert's presence, just his presence, elevates the performance of that defense tremendously.
Big turnover for the Steelers. They got their first 10 points on turnovers, and that's the difference in the game. Bradshaw. And the whistle blows it dead. No play. Oh, my. The
umpire caught the ball. Terry Bradshaw says you're an ineligible receiver. The play was whistled dead. Bradshaw in the grass. That's the quick whistle. And so the umpire, with Bradshaw throwing it, darted in front of the receiver and caught the ball. That was his first catch of the game, though, Dick. Bradshaw obviously upset. Well, they've called it dead already, so there's no question it was, in fact, a play that didn't make any difference. And he's just simply saying, hey, we don't want to carry this thing any further. The play is, in fact, over. Well, Tom Hensley put him in the book there. It's officially, he's caught one, the umpire. Bradshaw, 2nd and 15, gets away. That's Lynn Swan. But you almost need a ticket to catch that one. Well, everyone's getting in the act. Who's next? Yes. Swan, I don't think happy about positioning of a camera in the end zone. Give you a chance to get a little feeling for this pass. Bradshaw just winds up and throws it as far as he can. Ball hangs up there about an hour and a half and comes down well beyond the end line. Swanee's saying, hey, that ball was way over my head. I was caught by some young man from Sewickley, Pennsylvania down here for this game. 3rd down and 15 at the 39-yard line. 5th defensive back is Danny Reese. Oh, this crowd really getting into the game. Caught by Stallworth. Short of the first down. Aaron Brown, 55, in for the pass coverage, made the tackle after a 12-yard gain, but that's 3 yards shy of the first down. And here comes the kicking team on for Pittsburgh. I asked Stallworth what would bother him most about having missed all this time. He said, my timing is off. Obviously, he should have been down for the first down. 44-yard attempt by Barr. No good. Well, these Buccaneer fans are doing everything they can to help Tampa Bay. Barr misses from 44. 3:58 left, and the score remains a 10-point difference as you see it again from ground level. Chance to get right down into the action. Ball certainly kicked long enough. Just off to the side. You see it breaking away. Little celebration down there by some of the ball boys under the end zone. So the Buccaneers get the ball at the 27 when we return. Franco Harris, 3rd greatest rusher in the history of this game, 7 yards away from 9,000, but apparently will not play today. Concussion suffered last week. His team, the Steelers, in front, 24-14. Less than 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay's Doug Williams sets his line at the 27. Play action. Over the middle. Almost intercepted by Robin Cole, number 56. And look who was right there. Jack Lambert. Boy, do they miss him. You know, he's the center of that entire defense, that middle linebacker. Well, a great many of the first down passes that have been completed against Pittsburgh have been completed in the area that Lambert normally patrols. And you see how quick he is to respond and the great depth he gets. He was right there in front of that receiver. Actually, another linebacker there, too, to help him, Robin Cole, but both of them could have knocked it away. 2nd and 10. Williams down the middle for Giles. Might go all the way. Donnie Shell saves the touchdown at the 23. We talked about one of the dangers of playing hurt. You lose a little bit of an edge. Lambert is still nursing a bad knee. His timing's off, and he misjudged that particular play. Jimmy Giles showing you the reason that many consider him to be as good a tight end as there is in football. And watch Lambert. He's going to look back at the wrong time. Right here. Turned it back around. Had no chance then. He lost not only the ball, but lost Giles. Giles flat runs off and leaves him. And if it weren't for the very determined effort by Donnie Shell, number 31, Giles might have found himself in the end zone.
50-yard play, the longest of the game. Williams, that play misfiring right from the start as Ham and Lambert in the backfield, along with Tom Beasley to make the tackle. Ricky Bell, unable to get to the line of scrimmage, has dropped at the 25. It'll be second down and a long 12.
Dick, I don't know what it is, but watching Ricky Bell run today, he does not appear to have the authority or the quickness that I remembered watching him run last year. I don't know what it is, whether he's maybe nursing a nagging injury, but certainly not hitting with the kind of power and quickness that we've seen him use before.
We saw Chuck Noll looking at the cloud cover. That has helped Pittsburgh comfort. Second and 12. To the end zone, incomplete. Giles was open. He was wide open for the first touchdown. He just gained 50 on a pass reception, and he had beaten his man again. Giles is a very important name in NFL recent history because it was Giles, the player, plus 4 draft choices that came to Tampa Bay for a very important number 1 draft pick that became Earl Campbell. Maybe rain, but Chuck Noll and the Steelers wouldn't complain a bit.
They're very glad that that big shiny orb above them is not keeping this stadium as it was earlier, much like a sweatbox. Certainly will save some energy and some wear and tear in the fourth quarter of this game.
Third and 12. Double wing. Incomplete and a flag down. That's going to be holding against Pittsburgh. You see the official giving the number of the guilty player as he talks to the referee.
Donnie Shell, very unhappy. I think maybe his was the number ticketed.
Looks as if he gave a 3 and a 1, and that would do it.
Williams back. Shell coming across the middle. They're trying to pick the seams on this zone. See the ball bouncing in there. Shell, you saw him coming in a little bit late there and looking around. That's one where you're doing a little whistling. I didn't do anything.
Beardy gave him a little nudge. Not much, but a little warding off with that left arm. It's going to be not interference, but defensive holding, so it must have happened before we saw it.
Illegal contact. 31. First down.
31 Shell. Contact beyond the 5 yards is the call, and indeed there was.
Well, and the difference there between that and interference, the ball obviously not in the air when the contact was made. Had the ball been in the air, it would have been interference.
But the key factor for Tampa Bay is it carries an automatic first down. So it's first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Penalties about even today. 2:53 left in the third quarter. Williams. Great catch by Gordon Jones. Oh, that ball rifled, and Jones appeared to catch it right out on the fingernails. Mike Wagner made the tackle.
I don't think that ball even fluttered. It came in there like a BB. Watch it yourself, and he's going to throw right into your living room. Zip. Gordon Jones going up and doing a fine job. Soft hands and controlling a very difficult pass.
Working against Mel Blount, and had it not been for this fine tackle by Wagner, Jones had a touchdown. There was no one else over on this side for Pittsburgh. He just got him with that right hand. Ball at the 11-yard line, second and 1. First and goal as Bell drives to the 8-yard line. Jack Lambert, 58, Wagner, 23 with a tackle. Ham also a piece of it. Well, Tampa Bay trying to erase some of their problems in the third quarter. A touchdown in this third quarter would pull them within 3.
A very impressive drive by the Bucs, who have not only run effectively on this drive, but certainly have gotten the most out of the passing of young Doug Williams.
First and goal, 8 yards away. Gordon Jones to the left, Isaac Higgins to the right, Bell and Eckwood behind Williams. Swing it to Ricky Bell for a touchdown. the Buccaneers are right back in it.
Smart call from upstairs. Got to believe that they were isolating Bell on Lambert, knowing that that knee would not allow Lambert to run full bore. Williams doing a good job here, just swings it out. It's a foot race. Robin Cole, actually, the man that was assigned to cover him, not Lambert, was number 56 instead of number 58.
Garo Yepremian, who has not missed an extra point since he joined the Buccaneers, drills it through. And with 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the third quarter, the Steelers' lead is shaved to 3. This crowded Tampa Stadium on its feet as the Buccaneers have driven 73 yards in 7 plays to pull within 3. Yepremian's kick to Pollard at the 9. The 30, and down at the 32, hit by Andy Hawkins and Tony Davis. Here's the touchdown again, Merlin Olsen.
Beautiful timing on this throw. Williams waits until the last second and just flicks that ball to the outside. Bell, who is also the leading receiver on this team, as well as leading rusher, showing a combination of both. Tucks the football away, breaks it to the outside, and into the end zone for a touchdown.
That's only the second time in Tampa history that a Buccaneer quarterback has thrown 3 touchdowns in a game. And Doug Williams, with that throw, has just done it against the world champion Steelers. From the 31, Blyer. Look at him drive almost to a first down at the 42. Blyer still has enough speed to get outside on occasion.
He's amazing. Rocky announced his retirement before the season started, and you got to believe that Chuck Noll may come back and ask him to stay for a while. Does get outside, gets away from Logan, number 76. Curtis Jordan, number 25. I believe he may have that. Yep, he does. Almost to the first down line. It'll be second and very short. Oh, God, what a nice time to throw a long ball.
Oh, you want to be a quarterback, do you?
Oh, all the tackles want to be a quarterback, Dick.
Bradshaw with a down with which to play, but he gives it to Blyer, who has the first down at the 44-yard line. That's 58 yards for Blyer, matching the leading total for the Bucs, held by Ricky Bell. 24-21 here in Tampa. Let's go elsewhere. The most exciting game, and there's no question about the home field advantage for these Bucs. These fans have really been in total support. But it's Pittsburgh on first down at the 43. Thornton, big hole. And he's to the 50-yard line before Mark Cotney and Cecil Johnson can make the tackle. Cotney, number 33, has played in every Tampa Bay game. Preseason, postseason, regular season. He came from Houston in the expansion draft. Dave Revis, the tackle from Pittsburgh, are the last 2 remaining from the start of this Tampa Bay team.
We talked about the Bucs' difficulty in the third quarter. They won the third quarter today, 7-0.
That's right. And this has been the tough quarter for Pittsburgh. Let's see how they do. Oh, what a hit. Sidney Thornton leveled by Dewey Selman, number 58. Selman, who is 11 months older than Leroy. Dewey older than Leroy. Boy, he really put a mature hit on Thornton.
Selman coming from the top right there. 73 Wolfley just passed him up, and certainly can't afford to do that when you're pulling from the inside. Selman just leveled Thornton. I bet that hurt his neck, too. We said he's operating at about 85% and still having problems with a badly jammed neck.
A loss of a yard. It's 3rd and 3. Swan right. Stallworth left. Smith left. Thornton at the 45. Down short of the first down. And there's the difference. It's the same play on which Tampa Bay scored, but Williams led Bell for the touchdown. Bradshaw's throw was a little behind Thornton, and the play is stopped.
And you get the explosion of the crowd here. Tampa Bay feeling its home field advantage. They need a chance now to get that football back into the hands of their offensive unit. One big play, they could be right back on top in this game.
13 minutes left. 24-21 Pittsburgh. Reese at his 10 as Colquitt will deliver about his 43. Good kick. Reese at the 9. right into the arms of Calvin Sweeney, with whom he used to play back at Southern California. 40-yard punt, stopped at the 13-yard line. So with 12 minutes and 43 seconds left, the score, the Steelers 24, the Bucks 21. Close to the gold pot last year, beaten by the Rams for the NFC Championship. He trails the eventual Super Bowl champions of last year, the Steelers, by only 3. Williams with a flag down, handing to Bell, and Bell crunched at the 16-yard line. Mike Wagner and Mel Blount from the secondary to make the tackle. Offside, Pittsburgh.
We talked about the fact there were a lot of questions being asked by the Pittsburgh players, by people in Pittsburgh. What's wrong with our team? And the performance of the Steelers has not done much to answer those questions today. They put some points on the board, but their defense has not been crisp. They've made mistakes that are certainly not typical of a Steeler team.
Offside, nose man defense.
For the man on the nose, that's probably Joe Green. He usually shifts over.
Well, it's one of the 2 tackles. They'll put him in the gap. They're technically not nose man, but he's pretty close on that.
Williams 1st and 5 at the 18. Wide open. Gordon Jones. He was all alone, but the pass not there. One hopped it, and Williams unhappy with himself.
Williams reminds you of a young man just simply not sure of what he has in that right arm, and at times unable to control the power, unable to throw the kind of finesse pass that needs to be thrown. That's a matter of experience. You can't think about that pass. It's got to happen, and he needs some time.
Tony Davis is in the backfield. We interrupt only to say that's rare. He's not carried the ball in 2 years here, and Davis is in now. Doesn't get the ball. Instead, it's to Bell. And he has a first down at the 24. Make it Eckwood. Jerry Eckwood from Arkansas has the first down yardage as Davis and Eckwood teamed up.
George Yarno slow getting up off the ground. I talked to Bill Johnson, about this offensive line. He said, we've had our trouble this year, but I want to tell you something about our young men. He said, we have one of the finest groups of talented youngsters in the NFL. Give us a little time, and we'll put some people down.
Wilson of Wisconsin, the center. Yarno of Washington State. Snell of Wisconsin at guard. Revis of Arkansas. Hahn of Alabama are the tackles. Williams incomplete to Bell, covered by Jack Ham. And one of those youngsters in the line for Tampa Bay is number 72, Ray Snell, the #1 draft pick by the Buccaneers this year. He played clarinet in the junior high school band. We're talking about 72 right there in the middle of your picture. At the Baltimore Colts games as a kid. So he was on Memorial Stadium as a player, clarinet, mind you, long before he'll play there as an athlete. And when he was drafted in the 4th year of the Buck franchise, he said, I've been a Buck fan all my life. McKay said, that makes you the biggest 4-year-old in the world. Williams, 2nd and 10. Wagner dropped the ball. Giles the target. Wagner had his 6th interception right there.
Wagner, I'm sure, absolutely. Well, you don't have to say anything. He said it for us. And I'm sure that another young man who is counting his lucky stars down there, Doug Williams. A bad pass. Simply overthrew it. We said he had a little trouble with his release. Sometimes lets it go a little early. The ball takes off on him. That's exactly what happened there, way over his receiver's head and right into the hands of Mike Wagner. Tampa very lucky that the ball ended up on the ground.
Williams, 3rd and 10. 11 minutes, 40 seconds left. 24-21 Pittsburgh. That's Jones in motion. No, House. Make it Kevin House. In the flat. Right off the face bars of Ricky Bell. Went through his hands and off his face protection, and Jack Ham there to cover. So Tampa Bay will have to kick it away.
Opportunity there to change the momentum in this game. They were able to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looks like they might be able to get something going offensively. Now the responsibility shifts back to Tampa's defense and Pittsburgh's offense.
Blanchard delivers. Theo Bell, fair catch. Boy, that was a late signal at the 28-yard line. But he saw Neil Colsey sprinting at him, and he was very wise in electing to throw up that right arm after a 47-yard punt. So Pittsburgh has the ball. Lots of time left, 11-27. Involved in getting Tampa Bay an NFL franchise. He was chairman of the committee. Now that Tampa Bay young team is only 3 behind Pittsburgh with plenty of time left in the fourth quarter, and down goes Thornton. As he made his cut, he lost his footing, and he also met David Lewis and David Logan.
Down in the pitch, get a chance to look at number 57, David Lewis. He's driving on 61. Tyrone McGriff got excellent penetration. No place for Sidney Thornton to go. Just ran into the stack and lost some yardage.
Second down and 12 at the 26-yard line. Bradshaw has Swan right. Smith left. Over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end Randy Grossman, but well covered by the Buccaneers, Scott Brantley and Aaron Brown. They're two young linebackers that have played very well today for John McKay.
See some of the Pittsburgh fans exhorting their team to get themselves going offensively.
Pittsburgh has not done well on third downs today. Only 3 of 11. Third and 12 for Bradshaw. 3 wide receivers. Swan left with Smith. Theo Bell to the right. Blyer the only back. Swan is wide open. A little too long. Mark Cotney had been beaten by Swan, but the pass didn't get there, so Tampa cheers its defense.
Opportunity now to get the football back in better field position. Colquitt kicking from his own 12, 13-yard line.
And a beauty. He hammers this one. Reese to the 20-yard line. Good move. But Calvin Sweeney was quick enough to be able to get back at him at the 28, where it'll be first down for the Buccaneers. 10 minutes, 24 seconds left. The Bucs, knowing that Detroit is losing, Steelers aware that Cleveland is winning, a 3-point game. Pittsburgh by 3. Doug Williams brings him out of the huddle. Eckwood and Davis behind him. Eckwood wrapped up by number 67, Gary Dunn, who played his football here in the state at the University of Miami. Let's run down the scores for you.
Maybe we'll walk them down.
Thank you very much. Well, we had a little trouble with our visuals. I hope they don't have any trouble with that later on this year when they don't have announcers. What would they do without us? Second and 10. Williams. Almost intercepted. Mel Blunt had a beat on that one, made a perfect move on Kevin House. And fortunately for Tampa Bay, the pass was thrown wide to the sidelines. Had it been where Williams should have thrown it, Blunt would have had an interception.
Flashes of brilliance from Williams, and yet flashes of the kind of performance that will, well, I guess John McKay's hair is already gray. He may just start pulling it out.
Ball at the 29-yard line, 28-yard line, where it is third and 10. Bell into the backfield, double wing formation. Steelers use the extra defensive back. Down the middle, almost intercepted by Jack Ham. Let's say something about Ham. We've watched watched the Saturday practices of the Steelers over the years, time and time again, the last man to leave the field is that guy, 59 Ham. He was out playing one-on-one with Franco Harris running pass patterns yesterday as a receiver. He just loves to be on the field, and he shows it. What an athlete and a great design. Theo Bell has some running room, 32, 38. Like a surfer waiting for the next wave, and he finally got it. 52 Brantley with another play defensively for the Bucs. 40-yard kick, 6-yard return. 9:27 left, and now the ball is in Pittsburgh's court. A couple of hundred stayed at home. Very colorful crowd. 9:27 left. 24-21. Pittsburgh leads. Rocky Bleier. Good gain on first down out to about the 44, nearly 5 yards before Aaron Brown, 55, made the tackle.
Aaron Brown. Down on the line of scrimmage, 52, Mike Webster just blasting David Logan off the line of scrimmage. One of the advantages that Pittsburgh has against the 3-4 team is the incredible strength of Mike Webster, and he does manhandle some very fine nose tackles.
You have to be strong against that 3-4, and Webster was the NFL's strong man. He wanted the contact. Broken play, and Bradshaw gets out of bounds. Now there's where the new rules and the enforcement of them have really helped. As 25 Curtis Jordan came up 5 years ago, Jordan would have made his hit right on the sideline, and that time he just let Bradshaw go, and we're pleased to see that. The rules are taking their bite.
Something else very interesting that happened is Bradshaw jumped the bench. Tony Davis, who was ticketed with a 15-yard penalty on the other side of the line of scrimmage, or on the other side of the field, actually jumped over there and grabbed Bradshaw to try and help him keep from falling. I mean, an interesting reaction on the part of an old teammate.
Good to see. 42. 3rd and 7. Pittsburgh. Double left. Bradshaw, lots of time. To Grossman. Did he catch it? No. David Lewis was there on the coverage. Grossman argues he caught the ball. It would not have been a first down even if so ruled.
I don't think Randy's going to win that argument. You see him playing in the slot right there. Gets a little shot on Dave Saul to help the pass protection. Now watch him go down low. Ball thrown late and low. Grossman digging it out right here, but he's covered up by the receiver. You see the hand pop free? I don't think he caught it with one hand.
Colquitt end over end. Reese lets that ball bound out of bounds at the 21-yard line. The last 3.5 minutes we've had a change of possession, 2 for each side. Now it's Tampa Bay's turn. Still 8.5 minutes left in this one. And the Steelers 24, the Bucs 21. Dallas and the Giants are tied at 35 in the 4th quarter. Giants looking for a big upset. That'd make their season. 35-21. The Redskins were down 35-0.
35 is a popular number.
Cleveland, more than a 2-touchdown lead at Baltimore. 3rd game ahead of Pittsburgh. St. Louis, a commanding lead, a surprise there against Atlanta. Minnesota, Detroit. Tampa Bay is in 2nd place behind the Lions by a game and a half. That could be very important for the Buccaneers. First down. Williams, complete. Gordon Jones at the 34-yard line, a first down. Mel Blount made the tackle, and you better believe you have to have a strong arm to complete that pass.
When you roll to your right and throw all the way across the field to your left, you're opening yourself to all of the dangers of the interception. But watch the rifle shot here. Zap. Receiver coming back to it, but no chance to intercept. Closing quickly on the ball. That's when he's good, he's very good, and well, when he's bad, he's awful.
Little girl with a curl. 7:50 left. Bucs trail by only 3. Bell. Found a little daylight and squirted out to the 40-yard line. Good move by Ricky Bell.
Stop by Lambert.
Let's look at the National Conference Central Division standings. Detroit in the lead, but losing 17-0 to Minnesota. If Tampa Bay should come back to win this one, they'd be only a half game behind the Lions. And Minnesota, with a win, would be back in it.
And interesting that one tie might be the difference for these Bucs. That tie coming against the Green Bay Packers.
2nd and 4. Bell outside, has a little running room. Oh, Robin Cole came out of nowhere to knock him out of bounds at the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. Now let's go to the AFC Central Division, see where the Steelers stand. These are the standings before today's play. The Browns are winning at Baltimore, 21-6. Houston plays Monday night at home against New England. I know there are a lot of Oiler fans and players watching this one with interest. And Pittsburgh a game back, so the Steelers can ill afford to lose with this schedule remaining. Cleveland, then they've got to go play a tough Buffalo team on the road, home against Miami, have to play a tough Houston club, away, Kansas City, and then away again at San Diego. It won't be easy for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 3. What a catch by Kevin House. Kevin House, he's known for his speed, not his catch.
Accelerating rapidly off the line, stopped, ball rifled to the outside, had to go completely around. Tremendous body control by number 89, Kevin House, and he shows a little of that speed as he buys another 8 or 9 yards, finally getting to the ground out there. Watch this rifle shot.
This is to a man who had only 2 catches all year, and today has 3, 1 for a touchdown. That was a tough play. First down play. Joe Green in the thick of that pile of white-jerseyed Steelers to stop Ricky Bell.
Very interesting schedule remaining for these Buccaneers, Dick. They have all of their teams within their division left to play, and in one case, Detroit, they got to play them twice, at home and away. But their schedule, their future, really, definitely in their own hands.
Especially if they get help from Minnesota today and can win this one. They're in pretty good shape. Great shape. 2nd and 9 from the 39. Complete to Giles. First down at the Pittsburgh 23.
Taking himself out of the game after this play. I certainly would hope he hasn't stretched that knee, but you saw Doug Williams get away from Joe Green, 75, responsible for containment on the outside. Green could not run down the speedy Williams, who just got out there and zipped a shot for a big first down. They're threatening now. They need 3 to tie, 7 to go ahead.
And they're in field goal range. 5:25 left. 24-21 Pittsburgh. First down, Tampa Bay at the 23. Williams to throw. Deflected, intercepted by Donnie Shell. Out of bounds at the 15. A deflected pass, and Shell has his 7th of the year.
Chance to watch it yourselves. Williams, I'm sure, terribly disappointed at this pass. Joe Green up in front. It looked like that ball just skipped off of his hand to the outside, and Shell alertly picks it off. That's what, his 8th interception? 7th interception of the year. But Donnie Shell certainly coming up with one of his biggest plays of the 1980 season. And as Joe Green was leaving the field, actually almost went down to his knees. I think so pleased that they stopped that.
So Pittsburgh stops Tampa Bay's drive with the interception. Cliff Stout is the quarterback, gives to Blyer, and he's hit hard at the 20-yard line. Cliff Stout, number 18, replacing Bradshaw. Stout, prior to this year, had not played a down, was already qualifying for the retirement plan without playing. He was best known for the fact that on the alphabetical list, Stout happened to fall between Stallworth and Swan on the Pittsburgh roster.
A little ironic, perhaps, to look back and realize that 2 tipped passes today. One that was tipped into the hands of Swan for a touchdown. This one tipped into the hands of Donnie Shell for an interception.
That's an excellent point. Boy, there's Flyer for a first down out to the 27. The Steelers and good teams make their own breaks. We're not saying you have to be lucky, but sometimes it helps. I don't know what I say there. I guess I contradicted myself.
Well, that's all right, Dick.
I guess that the point is that the Swan play was a gracious gift, but that play was just good defense, and the Steelers were at the right place at the right time, and that's why they lead 24-21. Still time remaining, 4 minutes. Cliff Stout at the controls now at his own 27. Flyer, the workhorse, breaking tackles and gets to the 31. David Logan, 76, finally made the stop. And Blyer doesn't play all that much. He has to be tired. Coming up, we're going to sit back and enjoy the second game of this doubleheader. Denver and San Diego. They're going to use that new Luma lens that we employed in boxing. It'll take you right inside the play. Miami and the Rams, Kansas City, Seattle, Oakland, a hot team against the Bengals, and Buffalo and the Jets. That's your regional action to follow this one. From the 31, 2nd and 6. Russell Davis, not quite to the 35-yard line as Mike Washington from Alabama, the right corner, came up to make the stop.
Tyrone McGriff, number 61, pulling in front of Russell Davis. Davis hasn't had much of a chance to play, Dick. It didn't look like he was able to take advantage of that block as a more experienced back might have been able to. They really do miss Franco. And Franco perhaps using his block still, in spite of his 10 years, as well as any back in football.
Down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and a big third down. This could be the game. Tampa Bay needs to stop Pittsburgh to get the ball. Pittsburgh trying to run out the clock. Up the middle, going to be close, near the 37-yard line.
I don't think they've got it.
David Lewis spearheaded the charge. Now, some of you folks in Buffalo, Cincinnati, Denver, Kansas City, Miami, we want to alert you that since this game is running long, we're going to be switching you to the games in the second half of the doubleheader that involve the teams you're rooting for. But, of course, we'll keep you abreast of all the developments in this one through NFL 80.
It's going to be 4th down. It looks like Chuck Noll may go for it. Interesting decision.
Oh, my.
Wow. I watched George Furless, the defensive coach, come over to talk to him. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Unless they're just going to try to draw him offside and then go for it. The clock's going to wind down to the 2-minute mark anyway. So we'll have time to think about it, and so will the two coaches. 2 minutes remaining in this game. We'll quick duck in to score. Minnesota's now taking a 24-0 lead against...
For over 1,000 yards passing. And I'm sure that all the questions being asked around Pittsburgh, many of them center on the inability of the Steeler defense to handle the Cleveland Browns. Of course, a lot of people are finding it difficult to handle Cleveland. But certainly the pressure on Chuck Noll and his staff, George Furless, the rest of them over there, not over here yet, because they desperately need this win to set the stage for the rest of the season. And if Doug Williams can go in there and get a couple of more passes, he's got 53 seconds, still got a couple of timeouts. Well, he's got one timeout left, and that might become critical, too. You got to wonder at what he saw that would be important enough to take that timeout. But he is an explosive young man, has a powerful arm, and quite possible they can get down the field. They only need 3 to tie. They can still get inside for a field goal.
And there's no one better than Gary Yepemian inside the 40. 2nd and 10. Wide open. Kevin House at the 31-yard line. The rookie House from Southern Illinois has made some fine catches, but he dropped that one and was wide open.
Would have appeared that a pattern that's called expertly into the seam behind Johnson, who was beaten by Kevin House badly on this play. They're looking for help to the inside. The ball slightly underthrown. Tragic in a way. House wide open over there, and they missed a chance to convert on what would have been a very big reception.
And in fairness to House, that was a tough catch. It appeared from our long distance range initially to be an easier chance. That was a tough play.
Well, anytime you have to turn completely around, you lose that football, and that makes it...
Let's see where they mark it. And here's Williams trying to hurry to the line of scrimmage. The clock is running. 37, 36. They do not measure for a first down, although it's very close. They could have asked for one. Now it's 4th and inches. He can't throw it away. If it's incomplete, that's it. That's it. Incomplete. They didn't ask for a measurement, and it was 4th and inches. They could have stopped the clock. And it's Pittsburgh's ball. They take over and down.
I think Williams thought it was a first down. I can't believe that he didn't ask for the measurement somewhere.
It was right in front of the Tampa Bay bench. They could have called out and called timeout. No one heard it.
Williams now talking to him, saying, I think we got the first down. Measure it. I wonder what happened if they took the thing out and measured it and they had the first down.
Too late now. Pittsburgh owns the Pumpkins. And with 21 seconds left, it's academic. And Doug Williams can't believe his ill fate.
So important to have presence for a quarterback. To know exactly where he is on the field. To know so excited about stopping the clock, but they throw the ball out on a 4th down situation. He virtually did that in this situation, and he's heartbroken as a result of it.
Well, that's one of those trigger things. They were hurrying to get to the line of scrimmage to save. They got the timeout they just spent and forgot that it was so close they could have asked for a measurement. Now it'll be Stout just falling on the football. No, but one timeout left for Tampa Bay. And we'll even spin that. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, with a little help, a deflected pass for a touchdown, a blocked punt for a touchdown, and then a wasted opportunity by Doug Williams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Williams is going out to talk to the referee as the game ends. The Steelers stay very much in the central race. They have defeated Tampa Bay 24.